New questions tonight about the enforcement of an ordinance on golf carts in St. Louis. This morning, First Alert 4 started looking into an accident from over the weekend. We have now confirmed 3 people were hurt. Our Shoshana Stahl reports the accident happened on a major street where golf carts are banned.
I was disappointed to hear about any accident involving golf carts.
Alderman Matt Devote says that's why he proposed the ordinance to limit where golf carts can be used in the city. 3 were injured in a golf cart accident here on Sunday at Kingshighway and Southwest Avenue.
Golf carts are, by design, not intended for use on streets, on major thoroughfares, places like Kingshighway. It is very important that operators of carts follow the law and they stay in the places that they are permitted to use the cart.
The ordinance, which went into effect in the city in December, states people can drive golf carts on city streets that are 3 lanes or less and with a speed limit of 30 miles per hour or less.
Use common sense. Use reasonable use when you're using your golf cart. Think in terms of your safety and the safety of your passengers. Don't take anything for granted. Remember that when you're on the street, you are driving in a vehicle that is unprotected.
The carts are also required to have mirrors, kids must be restrained, and they have to have turn signals. The ordinance had mixed reaction from city residents when first proposed. Those in favor saw golf carts speeding by and not following the rules of the road.
It establishes a really good standard for the neighborhood.
While others thought it was a waste of time, especially when it comes to enforcement.
Why would you want to make something harder for people that actually enjoy in the city and keep them in the city?
Alderman Devote says he's talked to city police in the 2nd District and they're aware of the ordinance's rules.
They're looking to make sure that the carts are on streets where they are supposed to be, that they are not on streets with an excess speed limit or excess lanes, and of course they're also looking for kids. They want to make sure that when they see a kid on a golf cart, they're properly restrained.
Violators get a $100 fine the first time. After that, within a year of the first, it can be up to $500. In South City, Shoshana Stahl, First Alert 4.